Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lisbeth Armijos. I am going to speak about the pressure's renal-allograft function and the PD-1 pathway inhibitor Nivolumab. Now we have the definition. The pressure function of the renal-allograft is treated based on the care indicated for each patient. PD-1 pathway inhibitors like its Nivolumab are immune checkpoint inhibitors that especially block the activity of a protein called program D receptor number 1.
The role of the immune system is to protect the body from foreign invaders. Normally, the immune system responds to tumor cells as it does to any foreign invader, by destroying them. T cells play a central role in this immune response to cancer. T cells are primed and activated by dendritic cells within the lymph nodes. They can then infiltrate the tumor microenvironment, which is comprised of tumor cells and other tumor-infiltrating immune cells. Here, the activated T cells detect, bind to, and kill tumor cells. Programmed death ligand 1, or PD-L1, is one of the inhibitory ligands that, under normal conditions, help maintain immune homeostasis. However, in many cancers, PD-L1 can help tumor cells evade the immune system, particularly when it is expressed in abundance. This occurs when activated T cells release interferon gamma, leading to overexpression of PD-L1 on both tumor-infiltrating immune cells and tumor cells. PD-L1 interferes with the body's anti-cancer immune response by binding to its receptors, B7-1 and PD-1, on the surface of activated T cells, thereby deactivating the T cell's cytotoxic activity. T cells can also become deactivated when PD-L1 expressed on tumor-infiltrating immune cells binds to B7-1 or PD-1.
Okay. Now we have the application in medicine. We must know that based on what corresponds to preserving renal function, it is a clinical practice with several privileged objectives. It has been determined that using an allograft of the same organ is of greater preservation and above all exclusive care. With respect to drugs that are within the group of PD-1 pathway inhibitors, such as Nivolumab, it is useful for the immune system where it can attack foreign cells, leaving only normal cells. It is how the well-known checkpoints are required, where they are molecules in certain immune cells that need to be activated or inactivated to initiate an immune response. These control points are indicated in case of cancer treatment.
Welcome back. In this video, we'll be talking about transplant rejection. We have three main types of rejection: the hyperacute, the acute, and the chronic. The hyperacute rejection, which is also called the white graft rejection, is caused by type 2 hypersensitivity, and it occurs in minutes. So the surgeon can see the organ failing before he finishes the surgery, and it appears white, and that's why it's called the white graft rejection. The cause is pre-sensitization of the host to the donor, which means the host already has immunity against the donor cells. Under the microscope, we're going to see ischemia and neutrophils causing necrosis. We will also see thrombosis.
Now, We have the pros. Pros as advantage is that the drug is only indicated in cancer treatments such as malignant melanoma, Hodgkin lymphoma, in non-small cell lung, kidney, head and neck, and urothelial cancer. The cons based on the disadvantage the drug Nivolumab indicate in what corresponds to the treatment of solid organ transplant. So Europe study that it can increase the risk of rejection in recipients of the same transplant. There are complications of rejection in kidney, skin, and corneal graft. In addition, there are studies that indicate that this drug can interfere with immunosuppressive therapy. Issue apply in Ecuador based on my research. I can mention that the drug nivolumab has not been indicated based on kidney graft. However, a study in Quito showed that this drug has allowed the reduction of cancer cases. It has allowed the speed at which the cancer itself develops to be reduced.
Hello and welcome to Dana-Farber Science Illustrated. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at how scientists use drug agents to help our immune system discover cancerous cells. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells which work together to keep us healthy. One group of white blood cells, known as T cells, act as our own personal guides. They patrol our bodies relentlessly for signs of infection or other diseases and attack them aggressively. While on patrol, T cells use specialized protein receptors on their surface to latch on to cells and fully inspect them for signs that they may be cancerous. Once they've made a confirmation, T cells summon an attack on diseased cells. However, sometimes the T cells aren't able to recognize the bad cancer cells and they never attack. Scientists have found that many cancer cells carry proteins that act like masks and allow them to blend in with healthy cells. One protein in particular that cancer cells use for this deception is called PD-L1. When T cells use their PD-1 protein to latch onto cancer cells' PD-L1 protein, they're fooled into thinking that cancerous cells are actually healthy ones. They then leave the cancer cells alone and allow them to go on multiplying in the body. Scientists realized that if they could find a way to block PD-L1 on cancer cells, then the T cells could unleash an attack on them. This discovery led to the development of drugs made from natural human antibodies that block PD-1, PD-L1 protein interaction. The T cells are then able to recognize the cancer cells and begin their attack. Thank you for joining us on this brief.
The last one we have the conclusions. As a conclusion, I can determine the medical option that the patient must always be informed of all the risks and complications that they may have after performing a graft of any organ. In this case, it will be the kidneys. In addition, it is necessary to have a checkup on a regular basis for the visualization of the functionality of the physiology of the organ. As a patient, it is necessary that you follow the medical instruction to take good care of your quality of life and the intake of the necessary drugs. Thank you for your attention. So that's all.